Hello and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. My name is Adam. I'm the community manager of Franchise Hockey. With me, as always, and digitally pictured on your screen is Everton producer Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hey
And we are
everybody.
back with going back to school. Wisconsin Badger 2023-2024 season 2 continues. Jeff, I missed the last one because, my internet provider shut down my internet, but it looks like you've got off to a pretty solid start here. And maybe you're not going to be terrible?
Yeah, it looks like we're doing really well. This is how we started the season. We're 7-2-1 right now, but it was actually much better than that up until the last weekend, where we lost both ends of a doubleheader against Michigan. At least one of them was an overtime, so we got a point out of that. But we had a 6-game win streak going into that, and had only lost once to Minnesota. So we are the rankings. Last poll had us ninth in the country. Oh, and I keep forgetting to go back and look at the qualify for the top level because Brown shouldn't be that high. Make a note to myself.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, and you can see there are. We just did National Signing Day, so we got the guys coming in for the upcoming season, and the big news there was Macklin Celebrini. I can't remember offhand who he had committed, who he had verbally committed to, but they didn't go after him right away for some reason, and we were able to get
Nice.
him. So that's going to be a huge recruit. He's going to be 3.5 stars coming
Excellent.
in, or he is at this point. Might even be 4 by then. So that'll be huge. Our first one overall was Will Scan, who's having a pretty good year. A decent couple of years in the national team development program. A Czech goalie who's playing in the USHL and has been there for a couple of years. Also 2.5 stars, so he'll be probably at least our goaltending situation next year is going to be a little complicated,
Com-
but he'll
Complication
be
is good.
contending for
We,
the
we can just trade
job
everybody
there.
away, right? That's what you do. Trade everyone.
Yeah, that's see. This it's probably a good thing I'm doing this game and not you because I'm not sure you could handle this not being able to trade anybody
It definitely takes a different skill.
because this is a college
Yeah.
game and yeah, I think we're going to try to get the what's it
Transfer
called
portal.
the transfer portal added in. It's a little too big to do this year. It's going to need some
Uh,
design stuff, but there does need to be some sort of a mechanic for unhappy players moving from team to team now that the NCAA is making that easier in real life. And just a quick review of how the freshmen are doing so far. Breveris, the Latvian goalie, given him 3 starts. He's done okay. 2 wins and a overtime loss. Chapman hasn't played yet. He's basically the seventh defenseman. Ramsey and Pino are redshirted. Pino because he didn't qualify academically. We're hoping he fixes that next year, but even if he doesn't, not a huge loss. Uh, Buckberger, 3 goals in his first 10 games. Decent. Yeah, pretty good game ratings. He's probably the sixth defenseman, but he's doing well enough with it. Novak, we have only a single star right now, so he's only gotten into 4 games this
okay,
year.
Jeff. For someone
Hasn't done a
tuning in
lot.
for
Go
the
ahead.
first time. Oh, I see you got a little bug there coming on. Um, your
What?
your face shin there on Novak isn't showing up. For someone who's red, what
Oh,
does
I think I started it
red
last
shirt
time and it's probably left from it.
comes? What does that mean for someone who doesn't
Yeah,
is unfamiliar with uh, the college game?
yeah. Basically, in college sports, you're allowed to redshirt a player once, which basically means he doesn't. Uh, that it doesn't count. He's allowed to play. Well, usually allowed to play. There are some sort of exceptions to it, but you get 4 years of college eligibility. But if you redshirt a guy, he can go to school that year, be part of the team. Technically, he does. He just doesn't play in any games, and it doesn't count him a year. Count him as being eligible for a year, as using up a year of eligibility. I mean, so when next year rolls around, Pino and Ramsey will still be counted as freshmen, and while the other guys who've been playing, Novak, Rivera, etc., will move up to the sophomore class, and then we go from sophomore to junior, junior to senior, and then the seniors graduate next year. So this group of guys down here at the bottom under senior are the ones we're going to have to replace next year, and obviously those are our older players, so that's generally the best ones. and we're going to be losing a bit of scoring next year and our starting goalie. So I think we got some good replacements coming up, but I'm still a little nervous about how well we do next year. Although we do have some good recruits coming in as well. But let's just move this along. And playing against Alaska, and 4-0 shutout win, not bad. Now McClellan only had 11 shots to stop, but and wow, Bantle, rather 94 game rating. So hopefully we can get the second of this, and I think I'll start the backup for the
Probably not a
second
bad
game.
plan.
And Bruveris goes in, and it's good. McClellan is warming up quite a bit too. And actually, Bruveris has a pretty good game. Last game managed 29 shots this time, so he got us into overtime, stopped all of them except one, and we won it. Was that overtime or was it a shootout? That was overtime. Splanik with a goal 2 minutes into
Nice.
overtime. So it gets us back on a winning track. And the thing with the college schedules, if you haven't seen us playing these before, they tend to be structured around the weekends. So you get a Friday, Saturday game, and then you get the whole week off. Presumably,
Kids are in
the kids,
classes.
the players are in classes, and well, should be at
Oh, of
least.
course they are, Jeff.
Not,
How could you think anything
yeah,
else?
not suggesting there would ever be anything untoward about college sports.
Well, yes,
Yeah, hockey is generally
everyone who goes
that
to
stuff,
college
as far as I
immediately
know.
goes to all their classes, right? I know I did.
Yeah, I shouldn't really
Wink.
think about the athletes for that.
Yeah, I don't think you need to limit it
Uh,
to sports players.
my last year of undergrad was the year that I think it was. Well, I can't remember if it was the year it came out, but the year I first started playing Sid Meier's
Oops,
Civilization, the very
Jeff, you're
original
really
version.
outdating yourself here.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, I may have lost a fair amount of lecture time to that. I mean, it's pretty, yeah, because I think I got it. It was the
I would say the same thing, except for
like the second half of
almost
the
the
year.
exact same thing, but for me it was Civilization 4. So
Well, you're not making yourself seem much younger, are you?
it's got a couple decades difference.
Was it? Nah, it wasn't that long, was it? Civ 4
2005
was. Oh yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah.
ish when it came out.
Okay, and Lindenwood, which is probably a bit of a lightweight team, I'm gonna go with. Wait.
I'll tell you this, Jeff. I bought a new laptop when I was in university or college for the Americans listening, so I could play Civilization 5 because my old laptop wouldn't play Civilization 5.
Perfectly justifiable. And just gonna give Chapin the first game in for Buckberger. Get him one game. And wow, we lost to Lindenwood.
Okay,
That's
I think
embarrassing.
we talked about this before, but okay, Boston Buckberger is the son of Ashley Buckberger.
Who was failed draft pick. I want to say Capitals, but that might be wrong. Was it? Who was he with?
I'm just trying to look here.
He was a fairly early pick. I remember him.
Uh,
Okay, so apparently that substitution wasn't a good idea, so let's undo that. Just using right click to
Ashley
replace them.
Buckbucker was taken in the second round, pick 49 by the Quebec Nordiques.
Nordiques. Huh. Don't remember that. Oh yeah, I guess I can. And that, then he would have been there still while when they moved to Colorado. Would have still been. Is that right? Does that line up?
Um, looks like he never really got there. 95, 96, he played in the
But he was
AHL
there
with
properly for
Carolina
a while.
Monarchs. So yeah, he would be. That would have been Colorado.
Okay, going to give McClellan a second chance to win here against Lindenwood, and wow, 3-1 loss against Lindenwood, and so we lose both ends to what should be a relatively weak team because they're just established the Division One program last
Mm.
season. Where are they in the standings? That shouldn't have happened.
Okay, taking a quick look at this. Ooh, taking a look at this Carolina Monarchs team. This was not a great team, but man, they had a couple guys who scored all their goals.
Anybody that made it
Some
anywhere? Or?
well, there's a few guys who did, but they weren't like okay. So their top scoring guy was Brad Smith, Smyth. In 68 games, he
Yep,
had
I remember him.
126 points. And then Mike Castleman in 70 games had 102 points. Gilbert Dion had 101 points in 55 games. And Brett Harkins had 94 points in 55 games.
Yeah, a lot of career minor
Steve
leaguers
Washburn
there.
had 83 points in 78 games. And then it's,
Washburn had a pretty good. Washburn was with the Panthers
well,
for a little while. He had a bit of
the
an
names I
interesting career.
notice here that yeah, okay. So Todd Harkins, um, yeah.
Flames.
So Buckberger had 17 points in 67 games, was a minus 27. Bob Bugner was on that team.
Was he a first rounder? Buckberger?
No, we just looked at this. He was second rounder, I said.
Second rounder, yeah. I remember him being early, but not necessarily that early,
Mike
but still
Johnson was on that team.
kind of a.
Uh, Jamie Linden, Elaine
His
Nazardine,
brother wound up in
yeah.
Florida for a couple of years.
Rhett Trombley, Rhett Warner,
So
Rhett
basically,
Warner, who
career minor leaguers. Oh, wow. Okay,
Chris
Warner had
Chris
a
Bergen,
decent career.
Bergen, and then to be fair, their major goaltender was Kevin Weeks. So there's another NHLer.
Oh, okay. That helps.
Not really. He played in 60 games, had a 404 goals against, and had an 876 save percentage.
Ouch. I mean, when you got guys in the team putting up 120 points too, that's not necessarily a problem.
No.
Guessing they were kind of offense oriented. There's definitely something wrong with this recruiting update. It's not listing the younger players that should be in there. That's on our to-do list for the next update. We'll get that fixed. And we're also going to add a region or probably a local state version of it too to tell you who the best
Okay.
players
Okay.
in your state are. So it's a little
Question.
easier to put those onto a
Question
list.
from Overkill of
There's
ASC says, What is the hockey equivalent of the 2001 Miami Hurricanes? Uh, More recently, my first thought, I got to
the
get.
last couple.
Um,
Michigan has been scary
well,
for a
I
little
the
while.
okay, but like the 2001 Miami Hurricanes, he's talking football, and that team had like 10
Yeah.
All Stars and guys end up in like five guys ended up in the Hall of Fame. So it's very specific. If
Yeah, I mean,
if
it
you were
wouldn't
gonna
surprise me if Michigan in a few years, if you look at the
well,
Michigan
well no,
program
see
in the
this is
last
what I was gonna
5
look
years
up
or so,
because
you're going to have a bunch of
the
guys.
year
Yeah.
the Michigan year I'm thinking of, and I wanted to go click on it to find it, was yeah, the 2015-2016 team had Kyle Connor, JT Comfort, Tyler Mott, Zach Rowinski. Uh,
Mm, okay, but decent development report too.
yeah.
Like I've said before on this, you can see well, you can see it's also listing the guys who we haven't who haven't joined the team yet. So it's good development there. And you should never really see a guy going downhill in college because they're going to be out by 22, 23. If somebody's declining that early, he's got a real problem. And monthly budget setting, we're slowly creeping up. I'm not going to do anything with those. And this should be a good. Yeah, oh, they've kind of bounced back a little. Michigan State had started really weakly, but it looks like they've won a couple recently. So maybe I need to be a little more careful with this.
Oh, that's not what I wanted. Um, I'm trying to think about this as he's talking. There is another team I'm thinking of. Uh, Not college related, but
I'll
I'm going
think
to
of eight.
include junior hockey, and I got to go.
Okay, first game against Michigan State. And 4-1 win. Better news. Vandal gets a copy. Yeah, the first line finally showed up for that one. And we outshot them 29-19. Good game all
Nice.
around.
Jeff, you'll like the
London's had some great teams.
you'll.
Okay. And Kelowna's had the sort of a defenseman factory for a
Well,
long
see,
time.
okay, see, this is the team I was thinking about. The 2014, 2015 Kelowna Rockets. Nick Merkley, Madison Bowie, Leon Draisaitl, Josh Morrissey.
Yeah. I mean, Dreisaitl's sort of cheating for the Rockets because he
Well,
got
so
a
they
big
got
trade
Morrissey in that trade too.
last
So,
year, but
or not in the exact same trade, but it was, uh, yeah, Cole Lind was on that team too.
I mean, the really dominant Rockets teams are the ones in the middle 2000s that Shea Weber and those
Yeah.
guys.
Um,
And well, but I mean, well, ever so the defenseman generally worked out. The forward, none of the forwards really. Can't remember them going anywhere. Uh,
what? See, the
okay,
first team I kind of thought of here, um, unfortunately,
by the way, got an injury here. Stramel is just a minor one for 1 to 2 weeks, so shouldn't be a huge problem. But gonna redo the AI lines just for this one game. I'm doing it within this the pregame screen, so it doesn't change anything permanently. It just resets them up for this single game. And let's try Rivera since it's a relatively team. Sorry, what were you
I
going to
said
say?
one of the teams I think of, but I mean, we never saw how good they were going to be because of what happened, would be the '86 Broncos. But there was a lot of NHLers on that team.
Yeah. And 2-0 win. De St. Fall gets both of the goals in the third period. And shutout for
Like,
Rivera's.
bus crash killed 4 players, which kind of ruined the season. But you had Joe Sakic, Sheldon Kennedy, Todd Sevier, uh, Ruff. Trevor Kruger was on that too.
Ruff Mantika
Yeah,
was bad. I remember Mantika's older brother was the CBC reporter for Saskatchewan, so he wound up having to report on his own brother dying in
yeah.
that accident.
So I mean that, yeah.
Okay, so we get both ends of that doubleheader
Nice.
against Michigan. Good news there. So we'll didn't quite catch Minnesota, but we got a couple of games in hand, and well, yeah, same with the deal. Notre Dame's played a couple more games than us. I mean, it's just the Big Ten is a brutal
I guess
division,
I could point out too, if you're looking for current teams right now
or
who
conference
might
rather.
have a really good class in 20 years, although it'll be a long time before we know that, could be the Winnipeg Ice of this year or the last 2 years, because
Yeah,
they
for
have a
sure.
lot of guys who have the talent. Whether they all turn out or not, who knows?
And we're back up to seventh overall, and we got Ohio State today.
I mean, they've had what is it, like 4 first round picks lately?
Yeah, and Stramel is still hurt, unfortunately, so we're just gonna go with that same lineup, except for the goalie that we used against last week, and 4-1 win over Ohio State. So we're doing pretty well against conference competition, other than Michigan, and they're undefeated. Just had that one embarrassing loss to.
Yeah. Let me see here. So they have one, two, three, four.
Uh, Kim is chilling in chat, just mentioning. Yeah, we didn't really have any, we didn't lose any of the guys we potentially might have lost to the NHL this season. Kuhlman's, Stramel, who's just hurt at the moment, another big one.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Winnipeg Ice right now have 8 guys who got
And
drafted into the NHL already.
Bantle tired out for some reason. Actually gonna swap him for Newton for one game, redo the lines, and then we'll sort that out when we get out of here and give McQuallen the second start as well. Another 4-1 win.
Nice.
So that is. Oh, yeah, well, Ohio State's not having much of a year. And it looks like Michigan State's progress started. Great Horbach.
Kim is asking if did any of our players get drafted?
Ouch, neck laceration for 1 or 2 months. That's a good question. Let's check the NHL draft log from last season.
Is that the only way to find it?
Uh, that's the easiest way to do it. There's another screen. There's an alumni screen, but it generally works better for players who've actually left the team. But yeah, Stramel going 11th overall to Detroit, and Whitelaw, who's a freshman coming in this year, wound up going in the second round to Anaheim. So that's our 2 guys. And just curious, looking around the other teams, Michigan had 6. Michigan State 1. Michigan had 6, including Fantilli, who went to 4th overall. Let's see, Ohio State had a couple. Notre Dame had 1. Who am I missing? I think that's all of them.
Um,
Oh, Penn State.
that's interesting.
What?
I just noticed St. Louis drafted a guy who's playing in the ECHL.
And Penn State didn't get anybody. Oh, who did do that with?
Third round pick, 96th overall. Julian Hebert says he was drafted from the Trois Rivières Lions. Is that not in their ECHL team?
Yeah, how did that happen? No, there.
St. Cloud had 2 guys get drafted too in the 7th round.
Oh, it looks like he was an older guy who was he overage or no? He's 19. No, wait, how did he sign there?
I mean, if you get
Oh no, he had signed. He had signed with. He had. Shouldn't have been able to do that. He signed with them the same day. Somehow he was actually playing in the queue the previous year. Oh, and this was going into his overage year, so he would have gone into the ECHL if he hadn't been drafted and presumably
yeah, just
signed.
looking here,
Gotta look at the timing of that.
there's
That's
a few
odd.
R's. RPI had 2 guys get drafted. RIT Tigers had somebody get drafted. And Princeton Tigers
Michigan
had a 4th
obviously
round
had the.
pick.
Who was the Fantilli? Must have been the top college guy.
Oh, he went like 9th or something. I think I saw there. So 4th.
4th.
All right. Nebraska
No,
Omaha
Stramel's almost healthy. Not there yet.
had 2 guys. Michigan Tech.
And check the standings in a second. Arizona State was the upset national champion last year. They had, I think, they managed 3 playoff upsets in a row, and Michigan's still undefeated. I'm just curious as to how they're doing this season because they didn't have a lot of graduating seniors. Yeah, 9-1-2. So they're off to a strong start, and they'll be not so underrated going to the playoffs this time around. And Stramel is healthy again, fortunately.
So do you think you're going to be better than one and done this time?
No, we were one and done in the conference playoffs. We actually made it a couple of rounds into the
Were
national
we? I didn't
tournament.
think we. I thought we played one and done there too.
No, here. History 2022-23 playoffs. And where's Wisconsin? Yeah, beat Ohio State in the first round, and then lost to. We were one of the teams that Arizona State. Or actually, no, they were seated ahead of us. So we were one of the teams that Arizona State beat on the way, but they were expected to beat us. But what's going on here with the forwards? I didn't have. I was missing a winger. Oh, Bantle. It was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, I got 13. Rest 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, because Horvath's hurt. That's what's throwing me off. I think Kerr's one that needs to go in for him. Okay, that's all fixed. Continuing on. Fairly tight scoring race. Michigan, though, running away with the conference title for sure. 11 points up on them. We're back into second. That's good. Our goaltending's been good. Top second and third ranked goals against average in the country. Just could have a little more offense.
Oh, that's never a bad thing.
Yeah, be good to have in the playoffs. Only 28 goals against in 18 games. But we're still going to be fighting for second behind Michigan with, looks like Minnesota and Notre Dame are going to give us the most trouble. But yeah, typically Big Ten is going to be very strong. And you're going to need a really good record to get in the top half of it. You see, I mean, Penn State is 5th out of 7 and just a tiny bit over 500. And here we go. We're getting to the Christmas break. That's why there's a little bit of a gap here. I'll just check and see what the schedule looks like. Interrupt that in a second. Okay, yeah, so we had 2 weeks off, that's why. And then we've got this busier schedule here, which is technically, I think, tournament stuff, in-season tournaments, but don't really do those in the game yet. So we got 3 games next week, all against different teams.
All right, Jeff. So I started. I'm continuing to look about these junior teams because now it's got me, and I'm looking.
Okay,
So
6th in the country, by the way, now
nice.
in the poll. So we keep moving up.
First team popped up. Going to do some googling. Is the 0405 London Knights.
Yeah, that was, I remember playing Kelowna, playing against those guys in the Memorial Cup. That was a great team.
That was, and again, let's see here. Names I quickly pick out looking at the list. Goaltending is nobody notable, but you have Dan Girardi, Mark Mathot on the blue line.
Yeah, really
Up
see.
front, Dave Boland, Dylan Hunter, Sean Futers, Corey Perry,
We
Brandon
got,
Prust, Robbie Schremp,
oh yeah,
the
yep.
Steedman brothers.
Got a couple of guys in the World Juniors. Charlie Stramel had 4 points and blowout win over Slovenia. And we're gonna be missing those guys for this week's. That's gonna be a little tough. And Canada 10-5 win over Germany. Ugnoth gets no points in it somehow. Well, it's +2 at least. But we've got those two guys away, and they should be on. Yeah, Streamline. Oh no, right. Ugnoth got hurt his Achilles tendon, but he's only day to day. It's not great though. 3, 4.
All right, here's another team. Same era from the West. Can you name it?
Go ahead.
One of them has a former Winnipeg Jet on it. I'll name the players. You tell me the team, Jeff. All
Yeah,
right,
go
we
for
have
it.
Andrew Ladd, Ryan Getzlaff,
Calgary Hitmen.
Calgary
Calgary
Hitman.
Hitmen.
Yes.
I was
Yep.
living in Calgary then.
Carl
I was going
Carl
to those
Alzner,
games.
Brody
Yep.
Dupont,
Alsner, for some reason, never really impressed me when he was with the Hitmen.
Riley Merkley, Justin Pogge. Who is he still playing somewhere?
Well, he came over from Kootenay. Don't.
Oh, there's a name I haven't heard of in a long time. Konstantin
If he is, he's.
Pushkarev.
Yep. He was from
I
Kazakhstan,
believe
wasn't he?
so.
I remember he came over to Calgary and didn't really adapt well, I think, if I remember right.
Oh,
Canada. Okay, so we got Ferris State with a couple of guys away at the World Juniors. How do we do? And 4-0 win. And Buckberger gets a little extra playing time with a couple of
to
defensemen
answer your
out.
question here, Pogge
That's a
is
good game.
actually ripping it up in the Dell League still. He's in Germany.
Oh, still in
He's played
Germany.
in
Okay.
15 games this year.
He was a good junior goalie. He was on some bad teams in Kootenay and got a lot of
He was
shots
never on Kootenay,
put
so
his way.
I
But
don't know what you're talking about.
oh, Prince George, Prince
Yes,
George,
Prince George. Yeah,
one of the BC teams.
yeah.
Yeah,
So he's been in the Dell for the last 4 years.
yeah. That was he was on Prince George with. Oh God, why can't I remember the name? Jets
Let me
defenseman.
look here. Dustin Bufflin.
No, the guy. Yeah, Buffalo.
Hockey DB has his updated stats saying he's played in 15 games, 852 minutes. That's 34 goals against, rocking a 2.4 save percentage and a 913 save, or sorry, goals against 2.4, save percentage is 913.
Starting it back up against St.
He's playing for
Lawrence.
one of my favorite German team names too.
And Rivera's is another good game as a backup. Basically won that one for us. We put up 38 shots, only got one goal, but he didn't let in any.
Yes.
So we're solidly in second at the moment. And we've got the top two goals against average goalies in the league. Yeah, that Calgary team was a lot of fun to
Okay,
watch.
okay.
Getzlaff was
Jeff,
really.
what is your favorite German team? Or from the Dell League, I guess.
Well, I guess it was Hamburg, but they went under.
Yeah, but see, my favorite team name still from them is the Wolfsburg Grizzly Adams. Such a great
Yeah,
name.
it's
And jersey.
they named a team after Grizzly Adams, but they didn't name a team after David Hasselhoff. Figure that out. What's going on, Germany?
Yeah, Overkill ASC. Yeah, for Grizzly Adams. How can you not love that team name, right? Like it's fantastic.
Yeah.
The orange and black
Okay.
jerseys too are just
That must have
amazing.
a stamina issue. He keeps his fitness rating is running down whenever we get it back to
All
back.
right, Jeff, I got another team here for you. It's a BC team,
Okay, let me just.
mid 90s. I will name some of the players and see if you can tell me what team it is.
Okay, I was in Florida in the mid '90s, so this may be a little tougher for me.
Okay, I'm
But
going to
go for it.
start low and work my way up from names I recognize. Former St. John IceCap head coach Keith McCambridge. Since we're, oh, well, shouldn't say that
Mm,
one. Nolan Baumgartner, Brad Lukowicz.
Baumgartner was in Kamloops. Kamloops,
Kamloops,
Kamloops.
Kamloops is correct. Yes, that team featured Darcy Tucker, Tyson Nash, Shane Doan, Jerome McGinley, Ashley
Yeah,
Buckberger
that was pretty
because we've
loaded
been
one.
talking about him.
Okay, recruiting update. That's still not great. But anybody in the player pool?
Yeah, who else am I missing from that team? I'm sure
Absolutely no Wisconsin guys mentioned.
Jason Strudwick.
But a lot of Big Ten guys. Toughest goalie to beat is Portillo from Michigan. Well, a couple of the Ohio State guys get the bad categories. DJ Art is controversial and Jacob Jeanette overrated. Although they've also got interesting team at Ohio State. The Ohio State
There you go.
University. But they've also got the best role model and the most controversial guy. So, what's their team harmony looking like? Actually, pretty reasonable. One conflict, but other than that, everybody is relatively happy with each
Oh,
other.
that's good.
And come to think of it, what is going on with ours? Nothing.
All right,
Nice and quiet.
all right,
I
Jeff.
like it.
Here's another one too. All right, okay, another good junior team. I'll give you the current NHLers, and you can tell me if you can tell me the team. Guys who are still currently playing,
Okay.
although one of them's hurt. We have Austin Watson, Richard Panik, Zach
It's an OHL team,
Zach
isn't it?
Cassian, Philip Grubauer.
Is it Kitchener?
No. Cam Fowler, Ryan Ellis.
Windsor.
Yes. Taylor Hall, Adam Henrique.
That is a good team.
That was the 09
Okay.
10
Another
Windsor Spitfires.
good development report. Oh, we're up to verbal commitments. It's the first, so we got another draft here to deal with. And these are the guys who are going to promise to come play for us, not necessarily next year, or not even necessarily 2 years from now, but they'll be the younger guys who make a verbal commitment now, and then when their year to sign rolls around on National Signing Day, which is in November, which we did at the end of the last stream, that's when these commitments will give us a big advantage in getting those guys signed.
But not a guarantee.
Yeah. And I will probably try to prioritize the local guys, but let's start this out. I should see what the draft order is. My Arizona State drafting first. 16-year-old from Sioux Falls. Oh, big score. Wow. Those are actually pretty impressive ratings for somebody who's only got still a .5 ability. Let's try competing with them. Wow, he went with us. Okay, so we stole the top overall from Arizona State.
Dun, dun,
Good
dun.
news. What was I going to? We added, you can see here, a new filter that lets you filter by province and state. Oh, wow, that's a terrible group from Wisconsin. Wow, that's really disappointing.
And we need to look for Michigan and Minnesota.
Michigan, okay, Michigan's got a couple of 5 stars and some middle rank guys. And I think we started this one before I made some changes to the. No, we don't want a random state in Azerbaijan, Minnesota. The draft pool in this year is going to be a little bit weaker than you'd see if you were starting a new game now. And another 5-star guy in Michigan or in Minnesota. Okay, so I'm gonna let it go and we'll just do our own picks here.
Not a bad one if we get our guys.
I screwed up there. It was I didn't realize we were
Oh,
picking, and we nominated the AI nominated the guy, and Michigan State took him away from
oops.
us. So easy come, easy go. We get Arizona's first pick, and we
Well,
lose
then I
our
guess we
own.
wait to
So
see who else we can steal then. Try and steal the next guy.
yeah,
We lost a defenseman.
okay, there we go. So we're gonna roll through the first round. This just to clarify what this is. This is it works like a draft, but only sort of because the teams get to nominate a player, and then the player, anybody, any other team can decide to compete for him. So they'll teams will tend to nominate local guys or guys they think they have a shot at signing. But as you can see here, there's a fair amount of UMass get the second pick. You wound up going to Boston University, and wow, Denver stole three
Four
guys and
guys.
picks four, five,
Eight,
six,
two.
four guys. The five guys. Wow, six, seven. Oh, geez, they must have had a lot of
There's another one too.
empty space. They were the national champions at the start of this, so they're going to have a nice recruiting class. Well, for a couple of years at
Now
least.
you don't have these guys scouted very well. Are we not paying a lot for scouting?
Yeah, that is surprising. Well, I got to take a look at that after we finish here. Okay, so we got two 4.5 star guys, both Canadian.
Where are they from in Canada? That's the more key part.
Mulcair is from Nova Scotia, Halifax, and Dubois, presumably Quebec. No, Swift
Go
Current.
after Dubois then. Plus you lost a defenseman, so
Yeah, nominating Dubois, and he's going to join us. So these are still 15-year-olds, and the other guy we got is a 16-year-old. So that's going to be a couple of years
oh,
away.
you don't have any scholarship offers to give?
It's the national. It's
Oh,
verbal
just okay.
commitments, no scholarship
All
offers.
right, all right.
Okay, second round. We got a couple. We see these are older guys, so they'll be. Yeah, it's still sorting out the early
Tell
couple
me
of
more
first
about the
couple
Russian.
of signing days in the game are going to be a little weird. Yeah, Rysov, the Russian, 5'9", 167, a little guy. Problem is we've got a bunch of centers already. Torpedo Nizhny Novgorod.
All
Nothing
right, then take
spectacular
the
about
guy
him.
with the last name Wood because he'd fit in well in Wisconsin or Woods.
We got a
Yeah,
Juno.
but he's 19. He's only 1 star. Yeah,
Oh yeah, stick with the younger guys. Woods it is.
Calvin Woods.
And normally I'd be paying a little bit more attention to the regions, but just it was so weak in Wisconsin this year that I'm not going to worry about it too much. Well, surprisingly few
A lot of
Americans too.
19-year-olds here.
I
You
think
might
that's
want
part
to
of the weaker
filter
draft
out the
pool I had.
19-year-old. Look for 15 to 17s.
Yeah. Yep. That makes more sense. 17-year-old Canadian.
O'Shea.
Oh, Iceland.
O'Shea. 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 Oh, you got to take that name.
O'Shea, can you
Hold
see?
on. The
Yeah.
Icelandic guy. Look at that name again.
Magnus Mar Emilsson. Yeah.
Magnus. Magnus shoots, he scores. Nominate the Icelander.
16. He's a big guy.
If
6'3",
the Mighty Ducks
225.
taught me anything,
And I do kind of need right
if the Mighty
wings.
Ducks taught me anything, it's that the Icelanders are good hockey players.
Were you expecting the Mighty Ducks
No,
to
it did
teach you
teach me
anything?
that. Taught me that they're very good and competitive players, other than their coach. Their coach likes to slash other coaches.
Okay, and Fantino's the only 2.5 star Canadian left, so I'm going to go with him.
Yes, take the Canadians to come play American college hockey.
And just a weak American recruiting class this
You
year.
should check ability, or maybe look at 19-year-olds at this point. Because maybe you'll find a 19-year-old who will play. Overkill ASC, only team to stop the flying V. Exactly. Yeah. Because
Okay,
maybe you need some depth
we
guys.
got a Czech who can play a little
Yeah.
bit. Some center left wing.
Yeah, I like that. Or
Oh,
even that
we're
one-star defenseman wouldn't be.
oops.
There's a draft done. Oh, AI nomination.
Oh, what did
That's
yeah?
weird.
No, I screwed that up. I wasn't able to. Not sure what happened there. We wound up with a defenseman.
All right. Is that it? Is that the last bit? Okay. No.
That's odd. I don't see why I'm.
Hmm.
31 players signed 47. I'm actually getting towards the top of the protected list. I'm not sure what's going wrong there. Let the AI do it.
Must be this new build of the game.
I don't think we changed anything there. I think it may be partially this
Okay, no, so
weird
that
draft
should be
pool from
you
the
nominating now.
release version.
That should be
Hmm?
this should be your pick to nominate right now. But
Yeah, but it's not for some reason.
if you click on somebody and go into them, can you nominate?
I just tried it. No. Okay, we'll just let the AI do the last couple of
That's
ones.
odd.
So I don't necessarily have to sign these guys. I'm just getting
It
their
didn't matter.
rights.
You didn't get his rights. It went to Princeton.
You know, if you had a choice between Wisconsin and going to Princeton, I'd probably
Well,
take
that's your
Princeton.
mistake. I'd go to Wisconsin. Party school.
Just so you can drive up and watch the
Pretty much,
Packers.
yeah. But I do that anyways from here, Jeff.
Yeah, it'd be a lot easier if you were in Madison.
That is true.
And just gonna let CPU finish doing that. Since we're just down to the garbage players at this point, might have even been worth stopping. But okay. So Pantacook, the guy we stole at the beginning, we get him. And none of our other guys mentioned as outstanding. Oh, that's how the. Oh no. The potentials are showing up higher than here than they did on the other screen. Maybe the drafting issue, which, come to think of it, you got.
Well, are they actually scouted a little bit more now? Because I mean, you had them like hardly scouted.
I added a bunch of new scouts this year. I don't think we had
No,
that many the
no, I
first
know, but I'm
season,
just
but
saying the
I'm
guys you're
sure
looking
there's.
at were like all E-level scouted, so maybe they got better once they got on the team.
Yeah. Just seeing, checking our scouting priorities. I think part of it is we're really heavy on American scouting, and the prospect pool for the U.S. was so bad that year.
3 Illinois scouts and no
And
upper Midwest scouts. SMH, says Kim. It's all the same thing.
well, they can cover that area too.
Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, all the same thing.
No, they're distinct accents. You can tell the difference between somebody from Minnesota and Wisconsin.
No, they're all the same. You
No,
guys made them different regions,
Wisconsin's got the long, drawn
Kim
out
says.
A's. And if you don't know the for sure, you just point to a water fountain and ask them what it's
Did you hear
called.
what I said? Kim says, you
What?
guys made them all different regions. I didn't do that. You did.
Did we? Mm,
Kim is getting very upset at you, Jeff.
let's take a look at the way we got that. I could hire another scout now. Well, Illinois is a separate region, but Minnesota and Wisconsin together. Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan are together. So if I get one from any of those, oops, button, hire scouts. Anybody good in Michigan? Couple of goods, couple of below averages. Actually, let's do it this way instead. Search on potential, and there we go. Rasmus Sjoland, who is, despite the name, based in Wisconsin. Add him, and
Oh, everything got better.
Todd Collins from Minnesota. Nope, he's not interested in us. Chris Wickersham from Minnesota. Ooh, he's kind of
Oh,
really
yeah, that's a lot of
expensive
money.
though. Jeff Lang.
Look for the youngest guy possible. Sort by age.
There's nobody terribly.
I saw one guy was like 31.
That's both young and good.
Above average and good. Cody
We got
Campbell in
Colorado,
Colorado.
We got another low. 43-year-old. I was in New Hampshire though. 39 and in Arizona. Texas, California. Having trouble finding somebody who's relatively young and
Wait, why is there just a
decent.
60-year-old guy thrown in there?
A lot of these guys are going to be retiring soon. I'm going to grab the guy from Colorado who isn't interested in this. Okay, maybe one of the weaker guys from weaker and older. The Michigan guys want so much money.
What about the? Just look at keep scrolling down. There was somebody from Michigan there who was good in something. I missed what it was.
Good
I
and
don't
younger.
remember. I couldn't see what it was. It flipped.
Low.
Well, average and good. It was a Michigan guy. I didn't see his age though.
Cliff Ginger. Oh no, he's from Maine.
No, down. Go. It was down further. Oh, hold on. I can't see. It's scrolling too fast on my screen.
Okay, there. So I'm stopped on Michigan. Who are you looking at?
Uh,
I'm not seeing anybody that's
oh no,
young
he's
and decent in
64.
Michigan.
I was looking at Doug Bailey.
Oh, Minnesota, also not great.
Well, Minnesota's in an area that we don't have dark blue.
Although we got this guy, Jake Fleming, who's great at evaluating current ability. I'm going to take him even though he's expensive. It'll be nice to have that. Didn't turn us dark blue, but I think that's good enough for now.
All right.
Round out our scouting a little better.
Can't hurt, anyways.
So another decent.
Did you add any scouts to Canada, by the way?
I did not, and I probably should have. Let's take a look at the map. I'm not even sure what it's like there. And Sweden knocking off the U.S. in the World Juniors. Is that? Oh, that's still in round robin. So that actually puts Sweden at the top of their group. Canada defeated in theirs. We'll see how that turns out. Got both of our guys still playing. The new nationality check. Don't think there's anything in there that... No, it wouldn't affect us anyhow because there's no rules on nationalities in college hockey. Yep, haven't played. And we got Penn State today with a couple of guys still out. And I think we can go with the same lineup here.
Kim is very impressed by two top goalies.
So, yeah, and another shutout for them.
Woo!
I mean, defensively, we're fantastic.
Probably stop.
Which is, I mean, we're going to need to be to knock off Michigan in the playoffs. And McClellan also tied for the college lead in wins. Okay, looks like both the North American teams won in, whoops. Canada beats Austria easily, and the U.S. beats Finland, so they're going to play in the semifinal, and it's Sweden and Slovakia in the other one. Slovaks upset the Czechs. And Yugnoth plays a little bit, not very much in the Austria game, and Stramel didn't really do anything against Finland. And we'll get to start Braveris, and McClellan is red hot now. Oops. Start Braveris in the second half of the doubleheader. And it comes up with a 4-2 win. So, actually, 2 goals against is a bad game by our standards. Oh, somebody finally beat Michigan. They're 21-2.
Kim says Fantilli and Hughes sticking
And they've
around until
lost
they're
again.
22, as always.
I think Fantilli usually leaves. Hughes is debatable. Depends on who. Oh, Minnesota won both games, swept Michigan. Kind of a huge upset. They were undefeated going into that, and now Minnesota is only 4 points back. West Notre Dame's slipping a little bit back, but we're winning too, so that's going to be a competitive. Well, at least the lower spots, I think Michigan's still too far ahead in front to. Excuse me. Well, 5 points. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe they fall apart now. Oh, and World Juniors should be over now. Oh, 8 o'clock already. Didn't
Yeah,
notice.
time sneaks up on you there.
I'll wind that down in a second. Yep. Okay, so let's just see what happened. So, U.S. beat Canada 4-3 in the semifinal and beat Sweden 3-2 in the final. So, USA are the gold medalists. Sweden gets bronze, and Canada beats Slovakia for the or Sweden gets silver, and Canada beats Slovakia for the bronze. Kind of disappointing for the Canadians, but and yeah, like that Fantilli had a big tournament. So even with that, Logan Coe did pretty well for the States, but Canada had a lot of scoring, but just didn't win when it counted. And we are 5th overall. Michigan is number 1. Defending national champion Arizona State, number 2. UMass Lowell in 3rd, and American International in 4th. Oh yeah, Minnesota's right behind us. And Notre Dame not for so 3 Big Ten teams in the top 10. No, 4 teams plus Michigan.
Big Ten.
Oh, and Lindenwood, who we thought was going to be bad, that explains why they were able to upset us. They're actually 10th in the country. So that wasn't as embarrassing
So what
as
you
I
need
thought.
is all 10 big
Yeah.
top 10 teams in the top 10.
There's only 7 Big Ten teams, though.
So you need 7 teams of the Big Ten to
Nice.
be in the top 10. It feels like a riddle we're saying constantly, going over and over and over and over and over.
Okay, and just taking a quick look at the scoring. Yes, our offense is not terribly impressive. Although Whitelaw, the freshman, having a good year. Stramel is, well, he's been injured a little bit, but he should be doing better than that. First round pick. Oh, wow, Coolman's disappointing offensively. He was hurt, missed a big chunk of last year, and I don't know if he really came back all the way from that. So I don't know if he's the prospect he once was now. And the goaltending stats. Yep, just fantastic. I mean, 5 shutouts for McLaughlin, 2 more for Bavaris. So we've got 7 shutouts through
Well,
23 games. So every third game roughly
save
is a
percentage
shutout.
is 939 and 938. Can't ask for much more than that for goaltending.
Yeah, actually, there's a bunch of guys in front of them though. Although they may be ones with a few games played. But yeah, I mean, 1.19 goals against average. Yeah, I'll take that, I guess.
Absolutely.
Okay, and let's take a really quick look at what's going on in the NHL, just out of curiosity. Boston slid back a little bit, but they're still pretty good. The Blues won the Cup in the first season and are now still leading division. Vegas, top in the Pacific. Canucks are not good. What a surprise. Jets are also not that great. Best team in the league looks like it is Vegas. A little bit of a surprise, but and just flip back to the college hockey. I just want to take a quick look at the standings at the other end. Arizona State only 2 losses. Anything else interesting there? Anybody really bad? Holy Cross and Michigan State, 2 worst teams. Well, Michigan State looks like the worst team in the country right now. Surprising. I should be a little better
So
than
what you're
that.
saying is need to go
So you're not going to see them
play
in the
them a
top
bunch.
10 anytime soon. Yeah. Okay, do you want to wind it up
Sure.
there, Adam?
So with that, thank you very much for tuning into another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. We typically stream every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/franchise hockey manager, as well as twitch.tv/OOTP developments. You can also find us streaming occasionally on our Steam page, like some of you are right now watching. You can also come out. All of our streams are archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP development. Streams go live on Sundays at about 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time so that our European viewers have something to watch on early on a Sunday. Um, you can also reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/franchise hockey manager. On Twitter, we're at franchise hockey. You can also find a link to our official Discord in our Twitter bio. And of course, you can come on down to our official website, which is ootpdevelopments.com. Click on the community button in the top right hand corner and come talk about Franchise Hockey Manager, Out of the Park Baseball, Perfect Team, Go, or anything else you wish to discuss. Jeff, did I miss anything?
No, I think we covered pretty much everything there. Relatively quiet with the game right now. We're getting ready to. We just put out the maintenance update last week, and we're sort of going into long-term mode now, working on our next content update, which will be out sometime mid-late February. Just figuring out exactly what we can get done before then. Got a pretty big list of stuff we wanted to add, so we'll see what we can cram in before then. But working on that at the moment. So thanks for coming out, everybody, and we will see you back here next week with what are you doing next week, Adam? Back to the
No,
challenges,
we're
or are you going to do
continuing
something else?
our Columbus game, Jeff.
Oh, right, yeah, we started the
We
Columbus game. I
did.
forgot that. So the re-expanded 2000
Blue Jackets.
Columbus Blue Jackets, the all-new Columbus Blue Jackets. So we'll see how long it takes to Adam to get fired in that one.
Never.
You haven't been fired in a game yet,
Nope.
have you?
It came very close a couple times. We
Always the
got
first
very,
time.
very close, including like seeing rumors, but
Yeah.
then we fought our way back off of it.
Yeah, maybe this is the time then.
Ouch.
Okay. Thanks for coming on, everybody, and we will see you next week.